Hello, welcome to Math 1324. This is Chapter 10, Section 2, Example 7. In this one, we want to, again, graph the parabola, give its vertex, axis of symmetry, x-intercept or intercepts, and the y-intercept. Okay, so just like last time, let's kind of label these using colors. Awesome. So to graph this, we can just use the calculator. For B, I want to find the vertex. So to find the vertex, if we do so, we need to find h. H is negative b over 2a. By the way, if you look at the quadratic formula, the quadratic formula is the vertex formula just without the plus or minus portion. So it's negative b over 2a. So here, a is 2, b is negative 8, and c is 15. And then just plug this into the formula here. So negative b means the opposite of negative b, all over 2 times 2. Now this is the reason I'm kind of showing one like this. Opposite of a negative just makes it a positive, which means that this is just 8 over 4, which of course would be 2. So that's the x-coordinate of the vertex. To find the y-coordinate, just plug that into the formula. So we get 2 times 2 squared minus 8 times 2 plus 15. 2 squared is 4, 4 times 2 is 8. Negative 8 times 2 is negative 16 plus 15. So negative 16 plus 15 is negative 1 plus 8 is 7. That means that the vertex is the coordinate 2, 7. Awesome. And just so we can kind of see, 2, 7 is, let's just say it's about right there. And this is opening up. Notice it's a positive 2. So from this point, it's going to be going up like that. Notice that this is never going to cross the x-axis, which means that there will be no x-intercepts. So for the next one, C is axis of symmetry. For the axis of symmetry, it's always x equals the x-coordinate of the vertex, which in this case is 2. That's pretty much it. Now for the x-intercept. Set the function equal to 0. And then use the quadratic formula. And we're going to get a non-real answer. And the reason that this happens is if we use the quadratic formula, the stuff that's underneath the radical, in this case it's called the radicand, but it actually has an even more important name called the discriminant. Now, it's only the discriminant if it's part of the quadratic formula. So the discriminant here is b squared minus 4ac. And I want to look at that value. So if I was to figure out what b squared minus 4ac is, I'd have negative 8 squared minus 4 times 2 times 15. Well, negative 8 squared is 64. And negative 4 times 2 is negative 8. Negative 8 times 15, I don't know, but 15 times 2 is 30. 30 times negative 4 is negative 120. So sometimes notice how it's a little bit easier to do multiplication in one way or the other. 64 minus 120 is a negative 56. And the problem is that if it's negative underneath, we get an imaginary number, which means it does not cross the it does not cross the x-axis. So because that's a negative, there is no x-intercept. Very important to see that. As for the last bit, the y-intercept, the x is 0, so if you plug it in, 0, 0, you're just left with the 15. And that would be your y-intercept. Now, the coordinate would be 0, 15, but I believe my math lab wants y equals 15. Alrighty. Well, that's pretty much it for this question. I will go ahead and show you what happens in the calculator. I'll see you there. Okay, welcome to the calculator. And let's go ahead and graph this. If I go to y equals, clear it out, we get 2x squared minus 8x plus 15. Go ahead and do zoom 6 here. And there you go. You can kind of see the parabola right there. It's a little bit easier if I change the maximum window for the y to 20. There we go. Awesome. And there's the parabola. Good deal. Now, just from that, you can see that there are no x-intercepts. But let's say you didn't understand that. So go to Program, go down to Quad, click Enter, enter again. Now, A in this case was 2, B is -8, C is 15. Now again, notice that it has to be a negative here and not a minus. Now notice it says non-real answers, which means, as a result, that there are no x-intercepts. And then you just quit at that point. There you go. That's pretty much all we need on the calculator. I'll see you in the next video. Have fun.